mas em mim acredita. No conto das mina que pra mim foi mó chica. Tava tudo claro, mas a cena complica e a saudade fica. Então já era, já era, já era. Não beijo mais aquela tão bela e singela. E nem dá. Por quê? Quando eu me vi só nesse lugar, eu pensei que preciso sair pra me libertar. Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar. Nunca no mesmo lugar, seja sozinho a dois. O resto eu vejo depois.
Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Last outing for Orlando, the loss to the Houston Rockets. Kicks it out to Love. Love with the screen on DeRozan. Here's Marjanovic. That ball finishes by Love.
And how about that? Just an easy way to get on the board.
And just like that, Greg, the first lead belongs to them.
Guys, just watching Kevin Love, he brings so much to the table. But if you had to pick one thing, Clark, it might be the rebound.
I agree with you. I mean, he's not super athletic, doesn't blow you out of the water with his athleticism. But a few seasons back, this guy averaged 15 rebounds a game.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So the Raptors 5 right now. Jamari Carroll is out there with Gobert. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. Then it's DeRozan. And it's Whiteside in the center position. Dellavedova dishes to Whiteside. Barton kicks to Love. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Shots good by Bledsoe.
3 points. And guys, you look at what makes Love such a prolific rebounder. Great anticipation. I mean, he has the broad shoulders to create space in the paint, the strong anchor to hold his position. And it's no wonder he's been a dominating force on the glass at every level since high school.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. DeRozan's shot is good. The Magic have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Love with a wide open look. And a miss there on the triple.
You know, regarding Kevin Love, he had a number of difficult transitions to make last season. most of all perhaps on the offensive glass. He averaged less than 2 a game after averaging 3 or more a game every other season.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend. And Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their own conference and earn that 4 seed in the East.
It's tipped, and they're able to recover. They recover it, and that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. On the clock. He shoot again.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Bledsoe with it. Now guarded by DeRozan. And he gets it to go. And the Raptors did play the other East teams well. Went 500 against the rest of the Eastern Conference playoff teams, too.
And despite that, we know the Raptors had a disappointing playoff run to end the year, but I thought they still showed that they are a power in the East by having another strong season against the conference.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Love outside. The three-pointer, no good. Toronto trailing. Inside. Poked away. Dishes it to Carroll. Buries the long-range jumper. Carroll's got himself on the board with 3 there.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Kicks it out to Love. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, a nice shot by Booker.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they need.
A 3-ball. And again, it's the Magic from deep. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Magic.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition. Also, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
The thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league clearly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball, freed than his own shot. And but sometimes he would create for others too. But he settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing it too. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a split shine on his offense over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
You know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014, was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal.
Raptors trailed by 5. Dellavedova, the pass to Gobert. The wide open look here for DeRozan. Releases from the wing and drills it.
You know what, didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Lee, that's good.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the 3-point shot.
And it's killing 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range. And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
Dellavedova dishes to Gobert. Pass to Dellavedova. to Gobert. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Magic out in front. They're up by 6. And don't go away. We'll be... Getting ready to start up. And when you consider how the Magic are doing, what do you think?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. Matthew Dellavedova is out there at DeRozan. And it's Rudy Gobert. Then it's DeMar Carroll. And it's Whiteside in the pivot spot, man in the middle. Ajinça. Toronto grabs the miss.
Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. I actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
To Bayless. Orlando moving the ball around. And the jam by Ajinça.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Feeds it to Bayless. And it's off from three-point range. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Check them, Greg, the back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
Clock at 4. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Orlando making some changes. Here's a Teletovic is checked in for Alexis Ajinça. World Peace comes in for Anthony Morrow. And it's Butler in for Lee. Nelson kicks to Johnson. Perkins against Butler. Up the live Orlando. The dish to Scott. Pass to Teletovic. World Peace on the way. Outside, Scott. And Teletovic now top of the key. This one for 3. And Rasul Butler, good for 3. Butler's got the lead up to 8 now for the Magic.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Johnson, the pass to Perkins. Kicks it to Scott. Takes the 3. Rebounded by Jameer Nelson.
And just a solid start to the season for Teletovic last year. I mean, unfortunately, it came to a close prematurely as he was battling blood clots.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And you look at Jameer Nelson, played his first 10 years with Orlando. Then he got traded to the Celtics last season, then again to Denver. That had to be tough for a crafty veteran like him, a tough adjustment.
You look at last year, one of his worst statistically, especially from a field goal percentage standpoint. I really agree with you. I think he was affected by all of the change of scenery and system. Let's look to see him have a bounce back this season.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
talking about Jameer Nelson, what a blessing and luxury being with the same team for a full decade. I had a short career, only 5 years, was with the same team, and I wish I could have played for multiple teams if it would have been a 10 or 12-year career. That would have been cool.
Orlando making some changes. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Mirza Teletovic. Morrow comes in for Meta World Peace. And it's Lee in for Rasul Butler. And the Raptors also making a change. Ingles is checked in.
And when you think of Jameer Nelson, he can still contribute as a team leader. This adjustment happens to everyone as the career starts to wind down, and it's a choice. You can either be a part of the problem or a part of the solution.
Pass break, Toronto. Pushing it up. Lee with the steal. And here comes the break. And here's Morrow outside. Ingles with the rebound. Raptors trailed by 8. Wide open. No good for Moore.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
Shots, gentlemen.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there. Just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
Well, the Magic knew that last season would be one, Greg, for development. A young team like they had needs to grow before they can really compete.
And you touched upon it, Kevin. They really were a young team last season. Third youngest team in the league by the end of the year. How about an average age of just over 24 years old?
Well, I'll tell you what, they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy, fast break baskets.
And on a really nice run here. And defensively, you've got to force them to operate in the half court. It allows you to put bodies on bodies.
Lee with the ball. And it's Nelson picking him up. Here's the screen. Lee kicks to Ajinça. Here's Scott. Nelson with the rebound.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
It's deflected. Ingles dishes to Moore. Three-pointer, but they recover it. Ingles passes to Perkins. Lee kicks to Bayless. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make. He is 1 for 4.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. All sorts of time. Toronto grabs the miss. Ingles has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Rush. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Another miss by Orlando.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Got a hand on it. And here's the fast break. Scott leading the way. And a wide open look for Lee. They get the rebound.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And so that brings the first half to a close. Orlando out in front, ending the second quarter on a 14-4 run. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. Back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. And there's certain to be some great basketball ahead for us. the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Kevin Love out there. Good Will Barton. And there's Bledsoe. And it's Booker in at the two-guard spot. That's who's out there for Orlando. Kendrick Perkins at this point in his career really more of an enforcer than anything. Last season was statistically his worst since his rookie year. Played for a couple different, actually was part of 3 different teams and ended up in Cleveland after beginning in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and you know, at this stage, what he gives you now, he's really a space eater down low. Still a terrific screener in the pick and roll or in terms of executing of the offense. And when the game gets physical, that tends to lead to him finding a way to make an impact.
Enforcer's a good term to
like
use.
that
Yeah,
one,
I do too.
I like that one.
Nelson kicks to Rush. And that one goes long.
That's a very low percentage shot. Not good basketball at all. One he probably should have passed on. And you know, going back to Kendrick Perkins, I mean, he just looks like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. On top of that, he acts like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. One of the toughest competitors in the league, and he's got a scowl to match. That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one. You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
No doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
And it's Moore penetrating. Puts up a 3. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
Timeout. Timeout. Start it.
Toronto with the timeout.
Toronto calls timeout.
You know what? They just are in a funk right now offensively. Good time to maybe come up with a play to get them a good look.
Well, most coaches, you know, usually have a go-to speech or tactic that they can use when they need it most. So we'll see if that's the case here.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Toronto was a strong team on the road last season, Clark. A big part of why they came away with 49 wins on the season.
And 22 of those 49 wins were on the road. As a group, they managed to keep things close on the road. And because of that competitiveness, they were over 500 there as well.
And as you said, the Raptors kept things close on the road. In the NBA, they had one of the better point differential in terms of victories on the road last season.
It's tipped. Pass to Barton. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Love with another miss.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And the rejection by Love.
That's one for their first 4 to start the second half. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense. And you mentioned this, I mean, with the Raptors. Only Golden State, Atlanta, and the Clippers had a better road margin of victory than them. Just goes to show you how tough the Raptors were on the road last season.
Another miss by Love.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Magic leading by 12. There's Marjanovic, guarded by Nelson. There's the feed to Booker. And the dunk to finish it off. Beauty.
And nobody somebody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Dishes it to Love. Back to Bledsoe. He kicks to Love. Fires the three. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Here's Barton. Guarded by Nelson. Booker dishes to Bledsoe. To the paint. Up off the screen. And he slams it one-handed.
Boy, Kevin Love certainly is one of the best passing big men in the league.
Nelson kicks to Perkins. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Lets it go from deep. That's another one for him. His fifth in just 7 shots. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Magic.
Boy, their hounding, harassing efforts at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, well, also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long. And Scott Skiles has been around the league as a coach for a while now, coming home to where he played most of his career here in Orlando. And at times, he can be a demanding coach.
You know, sometimes you don't like to see guys pull up from three-point range on the break, but for him, with nobody on him, that's a pretty good shot.
And the Raptors call time here.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Hey, guys, in a draft with so many talented big men and lead guards, Booker was a bit of a hot commodity. One of the purest sharpshooters in the draft, has a lightning-quick release on his jump shot.
Here's Nelson. He has 5. And with Booker, you know, who is a Kentucky guy, he's a sharpshooter. Greg, you're talking about that. His dad actually played at the University of Missouri. He was a pretty good shooter. Clark, this Booker has a pretty good frame to work with, and I think that's going to serve him well in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like his size. I like his stroke. I like his toughness. I think he's going to be better defensively than people think. He's got a lot of good stuff in his game already.
Lee kicks to Bayless. Pass to Morrow. 46 seconds left in the third.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
He dishes it to Scott. Offensive rebound. Here's Morrow. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Scott the pass to Morrow. And the 3 off target. Rush dishes to Nelson. And he gets it to go. Nelson's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Rush outside. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Magic lead by 15. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. setting the floor for the Raptors. We've got Nelson. He's out there with E'Twaun Moore. Rush out there with Perkins. And it's Ingles in the 4. On defense, Toronto. 15-point game. Morrow kicks to Scott. He feeds it to Morrow. Five on the clock. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
Here's Whiteside. Got a hand on it. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
2 points, Bulldogs.
Mar DeRozan on the wing. Uses both hands to slide it down.
Dellavedova is really good at finding his teammates.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
2.
That's his first personal.
And he makes the first.
Shooting for Orlando.
And once again, last season, the Magic were near the bottom of the East. Only 15 wins for them against the rest of that conference.
And the Magic have been a bit of a doormat for the East the last few seasons, it seems, Clark.
Well, we'll put some numbers on that for you, partner.
Yeah.
They've finished in the bottom 3 each of the last 3 seasons. The plan is to collect talent, and they've done that, but it hasn't gelled or matured to the point of being consistent yet.
And here's Morrow outside, and he gets the bucket. Morrow's got 5 points now in the quarter.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the 3-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
Toronto calls timeout.
So, you know, Anthony Morrow, one of the real lasers as a long-range bomber in the league. First rookie ever to lead the NBA in 3-point percentage. Hit over 46% his first year. There's always a place for a guy like that.
Raptors trailed by 16. About a minute and a half through the 4th quarter now. Dellavedova, the pass to Whiteside. Gobert dishes to Carroll. And again, no good by Toronto. And talking about Anthony Morrow's development, he did it the hard way. Came in undrafted in his first pro start. 37 points. Remember that game? Most points ever by an undrafted player in his rookie year.
Yeah, that was amazing, that game. And, you know, the 2010-2011 season, he had the 2nd highest 3-point percentage in league history. I mean, he's been traded multiple times in his career, though, because he's still refining the rest of his game. Wanting to be more than just a shooter.
And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3. They get Hassan Whiteside. That's good from Bayless. Knocked away. Lets it go with a 3. No luck. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. And DeRozan kicks to Gobert. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
And Bledsoe, here we go. Back with the dunk.
And how's that for some ups coming from that one?
Well, he is a rarity among NBA point guards in his ability to elevate.
Yeah, his athletic ability, guys, is really what takes him a notch above most players at his position.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Love with the bucket.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
And those triples, they sure do add up quickly, don't they? I mean, they've got to make some kind of adjustment here.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Orlando gets it back. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Three-pointer. Love with another miss.
Well, in most games, he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Magic leading by 18. Lets the three fly. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got assist number 7 for him tonight. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Three-pointer, Dellavedova. And he gets the bucket.
Matthew Dellavedova.
Dellavedova's got 5 points now this quarter.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second three of the game.
And Matthew Dellavedova is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
And Bledsoe, here we go. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play.
First personal foul.
It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And folks, those are hops you just don't see from that one spot every day.
Well, that's why he is such an uncommon talent.
Yep, uncommon and unparalleled. I mean, he makes things happen out there for sure.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Magic.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And so this victory tonight will give them the front end of what I believe will be a knockdown, drag-out season series, folks. They win the first of what will be 3 this year against the Raptors.
Here's DeRozan. It's deflected. Barton kicks to Love. And there's the pass to Barton. There's the screen. Love the pass to Barton. That ball is by Love.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
The shot by Carroll, no good.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
Booker misses the shot. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans, too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game,
São Paris, São Paulo, França, Brasil. Aí, MC da UFP, Laboratório Fantasma. É nóis. Assim,
Os manos no posto, trampando a contragosto, feliz ou oposto. Aposto que sei da dureza, que é a tristeza, deformando o seu rosto. Se carros falassem, talvez o mundo escutasse, olhar no impasse, olhasse, limpasse, brilhavam vocês. Oh, juro, pras minas no fronte, que dor pra contar tem de monte. É tipo uma fonte dela, fronte ela sonha com um novo horizonte, trancada na cela ou numa favela.